And our leading story this hour comes from India, where there's been a shake-up in India's top investigation agency, the Central Bureau of Investigation. The government of India has sent the CBI's director Alok Verma on leave. CBI's current joint director Nageshwar Rao has been appointed as the agency's interim director. Rao is an 1986 batch officer of the Indian Police Services. This development comes a day after CBI's Special Director Rakesh Asthana was relieved of his duties. CBI's Director Alok Verma and Special Director Rakesh Asthana have been involved in a bitter feud. The top officials have accused each other of corruption. CBI has accused Asthana of extortion and forgery. The agency had earlier filed an FIR against the Special Director. In its FIR, CBI has accused Asthana of receiving bribes from businessman Satish Sana in return of a clean chit to him in the Moin Qureshi case. Asthana had earlier written a letter to India's Cabinet Secretary. He had alleged that the CBI Director Alok Verma is engaged in corrupt practices. Asthana had also claimed that Alok Verma had received kickbacks of rupees 2 crore to settle the case of Satish Sana. The Central Bureau of Investigation, meanwhile, has come out in defense of its chief, Alok Verma. And to bring us more details on this news story, I am joined in by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who joins me live from New Delhi. Siddhant, a very good morning to you. What do you make of this shake-up, and how was the decision to send Verma and Asthana on leave finally arrived upon?
Well, what has happened today morning has sent, of course, shockwaves, because CBI is one agency which, in a sense, is the premier investigation agency. And, of course, it has been battling perception issues and, of course, image issue. But what today has happened has dented its image beyond repair, because never before in the history of CBI such development has happened that overnight the number one and number two has been put on leave, which is the normal standard practice when it comes to government decisions, and a new person has been given an interim appointment. In a sense, Nageshwar Rao has been given this charge for a short duration, but this had to be taken because of the muck which was thrown in the public between the number two and number one, and with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi not very keen to have this muck impacting, of course, his prime ministership with election just around the corner. So this decision was all but expected, but overnight decision has, of course, sent shockwaves. And let me tell you, now it's not easy to dismiss the CBI number one CBI chief, because unlike most officials in the government, he has a fixed tenure of 2 years and was due to retire by January of 2019. That's just 3 months from now. And CBI director is meant to enjoy a protected tenure, because this insulates himself from political interference, though,
right.
Of course, everyone remembers CBI for the famous Supreme Court word that CBI is a caged parrot. So, in the sense, today what has happened impacts the image of this agency.
Right. Siddhant, it's also important to point out how the Central Vigilance Committee was conducting a fair probe into the allegations and counter-allegations, and that they could only be conducted if Verma and Asthana actually stepped aside. Also brings me to my next question, which you also mentioned about how this entire infighting has dented the image of CBI, and it's been a bitter feud, right from the beginning within the agency. Also, do you not think that it's challenging PM Modi's image as a tough, efficient administrator?
Of course, what has happened within CBI does challenges the image of the Indian Prime Minister, because nobody likes headlines such as CBI versus CBI, which was the dominating headline here in New Delhi in India, with most of the newspapers talking about the infighting which is happening in CBI. And right now, I'm getting information that some of the floors in CBI headquarters in New Delhi has been sealed. The floor number 10th and 11th has been sealed, and all the contractual workers there are asked not to enter the CBI headquarters today. There are reports coming that raids are going inside CBI headquarters in the floor number 10th and number 11, but these are unconfirmed reports. So a lot of things happening, but this is primarily a case of ego clashes between Verma and Asthana, and this case dates back to 2016 when the entire ego tussle happened. So this is a perfect example of how ego tussles between two bureaucrats leads to the image of an institution being dented. So clearly this is something that Indian Prime Minister would not like, so he had to take this decision of appointing an interim chief of the CBI.
Right. Thank you so much, Siddhant, for bringing us all the details. Let's hope that the probe is actually conducted and that the truth finally emerges out of this tussle.